Okay, it seems like this has been a long chapter, chapter 7. A lot of good information here. Seems a little bit disjointed. You are going to see some of this other stuff pop up in other areas. Same for this slide, but it was here, so I want to make sure for continuity purposes I at least cover it. So anyway, nature of the brokerage business, just a couple of bullet points here. The broker in charge and their relationship with agents within the firm is one of the things we're going to discuss. Just know this, and again, it'll come up in license law. A provisional broker in North Carolina must work under a broker in charge. As long as you are a provisional broker, you must work under a broker in charge. If we haven't given you a definition of broker in charge yet, I'll give you a quick definition now. A broker in charge, there must be one and only one in every office where a real estate brokerage is practiced. Among their primary duties, there's actually a list of 8, but among their primary duties, a broker in charge is responsible for the trust account, if there is one, and for provisional brokers. Now, everything I said there was important. They're responsible for the supervision of provisional brokers. They're not responsible for the supervision of full brokers, what we on the test we call non-provisional brokers. Non-provisional brokers are said to be affiliated with the broker in charge. However, even with non-provisional brokers, the broker in charge is responsible for the correct practice of agency and trust accounts and things like that. Okay, so provisional broker not only must be supervised by the broker in charge, all compensation of a provisional broker must always come through their broker in charge or through the firm. Okay, same thing. Okay. Now, finally, when we get to the last bullet point on this slide, number 4, this is important in this particular chapter. The commission wants us to point out to you that most real estate agents work as independent contractors. So if I were going to study for test purposes, I gotta be honest with you, what I would do is I would create a list, and it would be independent contractor versus employee, advantages and disadvantages. Lisa is recently from Human Resources. She worked in employee relationships all the time. And so we're going to ask her to start off the list. And by the way, this is not formal. This is just her off the top of her head. And then I'll create a formal list out of it. She's going to talk about some of the advantages or benefits of being an employee. And I will talk about some of the advantages of being an independent contractor. And what you're going to find out is they're almost exactly the opposite things. So Lisa, give me a list of 3 or 4 things that would be benefits for having employee status.
Well, you have a guaranteed paycheck. You're going to get paid every week or twice a month or monthly, whatever it is. Good. Guaranteed. You most likely will have some type of vacation policy, so you get paid when you want to take vacation. You make some paid sick time as well.
Let's just put that in the category of benefits in general.
Yeah, health insurance, that type of thing. Okay. So I would say that's kind of the benefits.
The taxes.
Well, they do pay a portion of your taxes, yes, and they take care of collecting taxes, like they take out your state taxes, your federal taxes, Social Security, all that stuff, and send it off, so you don't have to do that.
Okay, so from an accounting standpoint, all that's taken care of. If you're an employee, you're going to have potentially benefits. You're getting a regular paycheck, and the taxes are being withheld for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Right. It's time to do taxes. Okay, so from an independent contractor standpoint, I want to talk about some of the benefits of an independent contractor. First of all, we talk about unlimited income. Now, here's what I mean by that. You could look at it as good as bad. Unlimited income also includes 0. If you don't do anything as an independent contractor, you're not going to get paid. On the other hand, if you're a really talented real estate agent, you're not limited to the $15 or $20, $25 that you would be paid at by an employer. Okay, so unlimited income. Also, when you talk about taxes, some people look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. When I look at it as on the independent contractor side, no one's withholding my taxes, which means I have to be disciplined to do it. Having said that, because I'm an independent business, I would be able to write off a lot of my expenses, my office expenses, my car expenses, a lot of those. Now, by the way, this is not accounting advice. Okay, this is just telling you that this is some of the opportunities that are available. And then also, as an independent contractor, you are in control of your time. Nobody can tell you to come in at 9 and work to 5. You control your schedule. But again, that goes back to number 1. If that means working 0, then you're not going to make any money doing it. But you can work your own hours, you can make unlimited amount of income, and for taxes, you're going to be able to write off a lot of your business expenses for taxes. Now, let me tell you some of the disadvantages of being an independent contractor. It's kind of the opposite list there. Notice I said you're going to have to be disciplined about your taxes and keeping your records. You're not going to receive that regular paycheck unless you sell a house every couple of weeks. So, I mean, these lists just tend to be almost exactly the opposite. Anything else that you'd like to add on that?
No, I mean, I guess the good thing about being an independent contractor is, like I said, you do get to control your time. And, you know, if you know you need to do something, you can block time, but you just have to, like you say, be disciplined about it and kind of think about it. It's sort of like as a regular 9-to-5 job, just knowing, I mean, I'm going to have to put in this many hours a week, regardless of when those hours might be.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the field, we'll talk to you a lot about time blocking and how to make sure that you are 9-to-5, people work 12 to 8 or whatever, but whatever you decide to do on that. So the flexibility, a lot of people talk about flexibility. Let's turn this into a test question. If I had to guess how this would look as a test question, it would have to do with the fact that the IRS allows you to be an independent contractor if you can meet the following definition. One, it's your license. In other words, everybody can't just claim that they're an independent contractor, but people that have real estate licenses fall into a class of people that can be paid on a 1099 as independent contractors. So first of all, you're going to have a real estate license. Secondly, the firm cannot dictate to you when you have to come to work. They can't dictate that you go to office meetings. Now, I gotta be honest with you, having owned a firm, I can make it a policy that says, look, I can't make you come to office meetings, but if you don't come to office meetings and training, you can't work here. I mean, certainly I can make policies like that, but I can't make it mandatory that you attend these office trainings. So the independent contractor versus employee status, there's usually one question on the exam, and it usually comes right out of the wheelhouse that we just talked about.